So fast. But look at you. Look at you. I was like, no, I gotta at least get this on. Told me. Hack, I do not recognize the new username. So, I'll be back soon. Have fun. Hey, well, have fun with whatever you're doing. Hopefully you're having fun. Oh, okay, Sans. That makes sense. Sans Hyper is now Hack. That seems like a progression. Oh, God. Today's stream is a mess. I'm gonna be struggling this whole time. I'm gonna have identity crisis, character crisis, Smash crisis, all in this stream. People say it's a better username. It's, I mean, sure. I'm not gonna give, if I give you my honest opinion, Hack sounds like a younger kid username. But it sounds like a username you use for like 4 years, and then you leave it later on. You know? Sans Hyper sounds like a username you use during the Undertale hype. Even though Sans, Comic Sans is good. Like, I think there's a lot of you could play with that, but I think Sans Hyper, I think, is pretty good. It's pronounced Hacks. Yeah, I figured it's Hacks. But see, like that X at the end, those are always like the things that change as you get older, in my opinion, is where you kind of start saying like, I don't need the X. Kiri Kingdom. I haven't seen that one in a while. It's good to see you. Oh, I just got out of a shower. My hair's all wet. It's great. Great time. GD Colin kept his username. Yeah, hey, if it works, it works. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Today's stream is a lot of me going through a character crisis. And how it feels when you don't trust your character 100%. So, I don't know GD Colin at all. So, I don't keep too much up with celebrity type of people. I don't even know if they're a celebrity, but I don't keep too much up with them unless I know them personally. So, but here we go. Oh, somebody asked me if I have the delay mod. I do. Not the latency one, though. Okay, 600K on YouTube is not a celeb. There you go. Okay. What's up, Zam? What's up? So, let me build this really quick. So, let me get this captured. So, today's goal is we are going to be breaking down a lot of the characters that I want to use. So, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a very tough time for me. We're gonna Lumi rank top 10. What do you want for me? Or top 20? What do you mean? You want me to like react to the Lumi rank and tell you how I feel about each of them? I could do that. Yeah? Sure. You know what? This might be a good thought process to start with. I can do that. Leo at 11? Deserved, actually. 100% should be that way. I know it sounds wrong, but he has been so bad this last year. And it's not at all in a mean way. He knows he hasn't been the greatest. So, oh my gosh, why can't I get a picture of this? Please blow up the picture. Yes! That's all I wanted. He's higher than Zomba. Zomba plays an inconsistent character, which we'll talk about that soonish. There we go. Okay, so I no longer need this. All right. You want to start with the Lumi rank? Oh, okay. Let me get the Lumi rank. Lumi rank 2024. Can I just have... I don't want 11 through 20. I'll go to their website too. Just because, like, let's give them their proper dues, right? So, All right, we'll start with the Lumi rank. Let me change the title of the stream really quick, just because did like a 40-minute long reaction. Yeah, it'll be a quick one for me because I'll give you my honest opinion, but I won't be like I've talked to each of these players at least once for the most part. Some of them obviously like the Japanese players I can't really talk to well. But let's see. So we are going to change the title to instead of a Smash stream, we're going to call it Lumi Rank Review. Lumi Rank Review into finding a secondary. I've only talked to like one person. Who's the one person? I'm curious. Okay. So, because like this will relate to the multiple characters thing I'm about to. Oh, riddles? That makes sense, actually. So, he's a nice guy. Like, as much as Riddles might be a little bit of like a shitter at moments, he's a really cool guy. So, I haven't ever had a bad interaction with Riddles. So, all right, let's do it. So, I'm gonna take that away for now. Swap over. Lumi rank! Let's actually move this, because we don't need me to be in the center at all. All right. You had a lesson with Gluto? Oh, there you go. So, boom. I'm not in the center anymore. That's perfect. Lumi rank. So, let's talk a bit about this because... Oh, hey, Squid, send me the regional. There's a chance I'll pop out into that regional. That's kind of been my goal, is to go to regionals more than majors this year. I'm going to kind of just pick my few majors and then just go to regionals only. So, but let's start with 10. Shuton! Shuton is an amazing player. I actually really love his Olimar. Like, I'm just going to be very upfront. I wish that he just stayed Olimar. But this goes to my issue I'm going to have in the future about myself, is this Pyra Mithra kind of more of a main now, but like having these two is such a strong coverage of like matchups. Like, Olimar is a weird character that can definitely be a matchup check, and then Aegis is just solid. Like, the only thing they don't have is a recovery, and that's their only real weakness. So when I'm looking at number 10 and looking at Shuton and seeing like, all right, wins on Kameme, Gluto, Mia twice is the big thing. Mutace twice here, Siskui, Asimo, Zamba, and like a P tier getting third. Dude, to get a P tier, a premier level tournament, and get third, crazy. S plus, crazy. Like, and winning an A tier. Like, he has a resume that is fitting of a top 10. And even if we go down and look at all of the others, like, his worst performance is 125th spot. And we could go into like what it is, but like 25th out of probably what is, it's purple, so it's a P tier. Like, this is the majors. Like, he didn't drop out of top 32 once at anything higher than... Oh, wait, sorry. Port priority, he had a rough time. Japanese players seem to be weird this weekend at Port. I don't know what happened at Port, but he had a weird Port moment. So, but again, top 100 wins, Gluto, Hurt, Ken, Light, Yara, Siskui, Mia 3 times total. Like, God, he's insane. So, in the end, you just can't beat the king of Kyushu. So, Shuton is just one of those players who I really look at as benefiting from having a secondary, kind of, or a dual main. Even if we call it a dual main, he really has this huge benefit here of being that way, and it's awesome that he is, right? I love Shuton. I love watching him play. He's a really cool player. So, if I ever fight him, please give me the Olimar Shuton. Please! That's all I want. Give me the Olimar. It's actually a bad matchup, but this is a worse matchup. So, but yeah, Shuton being 10, this kind of record performance makes sense. 3rd, 5th, 3rd, 9th, 9th, 3rd, 9th, 9th, 3rd. and 2 outliers, maybe 3 if you want to count SmashCon. Riddles, here we go. The dual main of Kazuya Terry from Canada. His worst loss of the year of 2023, me, most likely. Maybe Yoda Cage if you want to count that one. But I would say in terms of rankings, I'm probably his worst loss of the year. But Riddle's super solid player. Great in 2 games, which is insane. Like, how the hell are you good at Street Fighter and Smash, like, at the same time? It's insane. To be good at both at the same time, that dedication, it's insane. So, but you see it, like, he's got his first place win. He's got his second place at an S tier, top 13 at P tier, had a rough Genesis. Where was the Gommel? I don't know if Gommel, he got 5th. He lost to me early and still got to 5th while also doing top 8 in Street Fighter. So, like, Riddles is insane. Got wins on the Buzz, Leo 3 times. He might have dropped Street Fighter 6 at this point. But I still think he plays it when it pops up in like it works out because he loves Luke. So, but like, look, Spargo being beaten, Leo has a win on Mia, which is a rarity in a lot of these players. Tweak, Ken, Sonics, a Sonics win. Sonics wins are hard to come by, honestly. So he's so good of a player overall that, like, you can't deny 9th place or 9th ranking is probably right for him. I mean, he had a few bad runs, right? Like, he got a 33rd here. He got a 17th and a 13th, right? So, like, that lowers him from being, like, a top 5. But, like, you'll notice the 6 through 10s have their, like, off turnies, but the average is insane. So, Riddles makes a lot of sense. Yoshidora is an interesting one, mostly because this is a Japanese bias kind of thing, right? He really doesn't have very many out of Japan tournaments. He had the Battle of BC really as his only international tourney. This is where you could argue maybe some of it, but, like, he beat Mia. He beat Asimo. He's beaten Shuton. Like, he beat T. He's gotten a SkyJ win. Neo, Kent. Like, he's got a lot of good wins. And he's been so solid in Japan, right? So, like, I can't really look at his results here. Like, 3rd, 4th, 13th, 7th, 5th. The one international, 7th. 3rd. Oh, wait. I guess Terra is also international for him in Europe. So 13th there. 4th there. So, like, he's got two international tournaments, one in North America and one in Europe. Has solid placements. Doesn't even fall out of top 13. That's insane. Right? Like, that's an insane thing. He really is consistent in a very tough region. So, I'm glad that he has these 2 international tournaments, because that really shows that he can compete, and it's not just him learning his area, his region, right? Which I understand Japan's a huge area, that not everybody goes to their weeklies together. Not like, I don't know exactly where everybody lives in Japan, but, like, it's like saying if Texas players were all grouped as Texas. No, the region is huge. California split, like, we don't always assume all the players are together. So, but Yoshidora, very consistent player, gives me hope in this character. I would love to play Yoshi again. And I've watched a lot of Yoshidora. He gives me so much hope in this character. So, when I get to my secondaries thing, he is the reason Yoshi gets to be put into the yes, I would play the character tier. So, Tweak! The Let's Make Big Moves 2023 and 2024 champion. Let's go, Tweak. Personal favorite player. Okay, this is my bias here. Personal favorite player right here. Look at his results. 1st, 7th, 7th, 9th, 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 2nd, 9th, 9th, 7th, 5th. Didn't even fall outside of top 10 at any tournament. has wins over Mars, Leo, Riddles, Spargo. Like, this is the beacon of, like, consistency. Here's his problem. Look at how many 7ths and 9ths versus top 3s, right? So, like, at the S and P tier level, right, he only has 2. Then he has some good A's and B tiers finishes, right? Kawhi Connie wins. But B tier is a pretty far drop off. A tier, okay. Ultimate Summit getting second, awesome. Level Up Expo, awesome. But to have just these 9th and 7ths average for like the highest level, it's just like it hurts to get him higher on the list, right? This is a battle of consistency versus peaks and valleys. His peaks, yes, he has a win here, right? But he only has 2 of these. And then the rest are out of top 3, which for how many he went to actually hurts him. Which, again, I don't think it should hurt to have this level of consistency, but as we see, we'll see some other players where they might have a lower placement once, but a lot more top 3s. So let's see if the next one is it. Light! Yeah, look at Light! So this is interesting. Light is the most interesting placement here for me. I would have put Light below Tweak, personally. Okay? The only reason I think you have an argument that Light goes over Tweak is because Light beats Tweak. In a head-to-head, if you want to put the tiebreaker as head-to-head, then Light gets to go above Tweak, right? But if you're looking at just placements, and I'm looking at just these P, and then notable A's, and the fact that there's only one A and the rest are B's, but Light has a win. Whereas even Tweak, second, first. This could be your argument, is that Light just wins these A and B tiers and had a few rough patches, right? And I say rough patches. He had 125th. That's his roughest. 13th. That's still not bad. But he doesn't have a, like, first or second in an S or P tier. And that's my only argument for why I would put Tweak above Light. But again, there's a little personal bias. I think his play is great. But the beating up on Tweak hurts. So, and 5 Sonics wins in 3 Spargo. I think Tweak only had Tweak had 3 Spargo, but Sonics was beating Tweak up that whole season. Light was like the only beacon of hope against Sonics for the most part. That was the North American hope, I guess, against Sonics. So, Light, insane. Insane year, insane play, but awesome overall. Gluto. Gluto had like a small year, in my opinion. You look at all these, he didn't really attend some of the biggest, but like he had great performances just throughout. Like, it's interesting, because he's just kind of been just up there in consistency. His worst was a 17th, but like 5th, 4th, winning Terra was huge. 9th, has a Spargo win, was beating up Bloom Forever, beat Leo, beat Mars, beat Light, beat Tweak. Look at these 5s here. This is why Gluto's probably above both of them. Beating up Light, beating up Tweak, pretty much every time they fought, right? So that just helps have an argument for why Gluto goes above. I think Gluto just had a great season overall. His head-to-heads with certain players are just amazing, and that pops him above Tweak and Light, in my opinion. I think Gluto at 5 makes perfect sense. Now we get to the fun ones. Mia started off the year kind of becoming a new player, right? Also, really quick, Gluto, solo main, Light, solo main, Tweak, kind of a solo main, but yes, he has a Sephiroth. Yoshidora, solo main. Solo mains can do it in this game. I just want to say that before I, get going on. But Mia, Steve, Game & Watch, and then the Incineroar came out, I think, a couple times. So, but the big thing that Mia gets the chance for is fighting Akala these 4 times, getting wins, beating Light, beating Riddles, beating Tweak, beating Gluto, destroying like so many good players over and over and over. And again, he had his one early year bad placement, right? I think Kowloon was pretty early on. And even if it wasn't, that's one in what's insane about his streak. First, second, first, first, second, first. These are winning events at a high level. Mia, honestly, if we can take away a few of these bad ones, plops very quickly to that top 2 discussion. But I think he has just a few outliers that does push him to 4. Sonics, honestly, this was a huge surprise for me. I thought Sonics was having just an insane year with only one bad performance here, and it was SmashCon. Like, to me, I always felt, I guess Crown was also a bad performance. I didn't even know he went to Crown, to be honest. But like this resume here and these wins, yeah, no, he had a bad run at SmashCon. I remember this was probably, honestly, I'm gonna just say it for SmashCon. This was the most toxic that people got towards him ever. Like, there were so many mean people towards him at SmashCon. Like, it was just rude. Like, I felt bad for him. Like, dude, he just didn't look happy to be there, which really sucked. I think he finally started to learn how to embrace it after this, but it was there were so many haters on him there. And so, like, like, I get it. I get it. Sonic is kind of a lame character. The way he plays is lame, blah, 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 blah. He's playing to win, and this is why he's number 3 in the world. He's playing to fucking win. He wants to win. Great job. Like, amazing player. I have a ton of respect for Sonics as a player. If I'm going to be one mean person for just a second, get to your matches on time, Sonics, please. Like, if you know you have a match, let's be there on time. But, other than that, like, this is amazing. So, who deserves it more, Zomba or Jackal? Oh, over Crown? Who deserves it? Zomba is the one who deserves it. He's a much better consistent player. Jackal's the hype one everybody wanted to win. So, let's just be real here, right? Spargo, when we're talking about Crown, actually finished 9th. Crown was not a good tourney for Spargo, and then we had the anomaly here at SmashCon, where he lost to Aaron, and I don't remember who he lost to in winners. But this was his tourney to he just blew it, honestly, right? This could be a tourney that if he wins, it was Lie. That makes sense. Lie is insane. Yeah, some rando corn. You can say rando. Lie is insane. But like this performance and the Port Priority 17th performance are probably the 2 big ones that make it so Akala stays in first, right? But again, Spargo, look at this trio main here. Like, Cloud is definitely the main. Aegis comes in when needed, especially against Sonic. And Corrin has popped in and out of existence for Spargo. Like, he's really a beacon of consistency here with the worst drop-off moments. And again, who knows what was going on for him? I didn't see anything with Spargo at SmashCon, but there was pressure on Spargo. It was so insane to hear how much like the players were dealing with on pressure-wise. So I am not surprised to see some of the top players have a bad tourney here. Port, I don't remember what happened to Port, but 17th was a crazy tourney. It was a crazy tourney. And yeah, some people get embarrassed at Crown, and it happens. You have a bad tourney once in a while. And look, even down here, we can all say, like, look, he's got even more than just 3. He's pulled out more in tourney. So, and then we get to Akala. And no offense, this guy didn't get worse than 7th. Spargo had a 49th and a 17th. Akala, 7th, was his worst. Winning SmashCon and getting 3rd at Port. Winning Ultimate Summit. Winning Sumabara. Winning SmashCon. Winning not Genesis. I forget. Delta. So Can you really say that Aquila doesn't deserve one? Hell no. Aquila 100% deserves one. Okay. Aquila 100% deserves number one. If you look, the score being 100, nobody disagreed on the panel that worked on this. Nobody disagreed. In the top 100, everybody said Aquila won. And you just can't look at this and say he doesn't, right? He just had an amazing year. And Aquila is just insane. Steve, I would say, regardless of the Steve hate, Aquila pushed that character, right? He has proven why Steve is good, and we need that out of players. We need players who are dedicated to their characters to really push the meta as far as they can, right? Aquila, amazing player, doesn't deserve half the hate he gets at all. Doesn't deserve any of it, honestly. But he does play a DLC pack, too. Kazuya ages Steve. So, definitely has that kind of like, this trio is good. I will not be surprised to see these two come more prevalent as Steve kind of goes out. But I don't see Aquila attending a Steve banned tournament. Why would he? Aquila fell off so hard. Aquila hasn't fallen off at all. Oh, you're making fun of the people who think... Yeah, exactly. Like, he's adaptable. Like, Big D and Ken got one, but then they get beat down, right? So, like, even when, like, Aquila lost to some players who he probably shouldn't have, Big D, right? He learns the game. He's such a smart player. He's Japan's, like, esports player of the year. Just an amazing kid, I think, and I'm excited to see how he, does it. Yeah, Ken got one. He also lost 4. like, it's insane what he did. So, props to Aquila. Like, I respect his play. Watching him play Steve is amazing. It is, even if it's broken and, in my opinion, is just way overtuned as a character, it's still insane. Same age as you. Yeah, see? Like, shows that anybody can do it. And even the Steve, when he was getting criticized about Steve, pulls out an Aegis, pulls out a Kazuya, and it's like, I'm still a good player. It's not just Steve. And I guarantee you, if he were to say, screw all of you, I'll play any other character but Steve, he's still in the top 15 discussion. He's just that great of a player. I would not be surprised if he was still a top 15 player with just these two. So, I'm going to make an essay soon about why Southwest is the most snuffed region. Woo! But hey, Tep. Interesting. Is Southwest snuffed? Kind of. I mean, I think we definitely should have more C tiers. C and D tiers, we definitely should. But, like, Colorado doesn't really host anything. Crown is the only thing Utah has. So a lot of the Southwest problem is our fault for not having big events. So, yeah. That's the thing, is you have Crown and Utah, but, like, what else counts? Colorado? We have, like, no events that count for rankings because of Crown. Exactly. I have my opinions on how LubyRank does it. So, like, LubyRank made a post, right, about how, I don't want to go find it, but, like, premier or anniversary tournament shouldn't count or whatever. My thought is, and this is a very simple thought, if an event wants to count for the LubyRank, they should be applying to be a part of the ranking system. So, like, here's an insane hypothetical that would never happen. Insane hypothetical. But let's say the organizers of SmashCon were like, LubyRank, we don't want to count our event towards your rankings. I don't care that we have the biggest showing in the world. We want it to be a celebration of Smash and enjoyment and not have it count for rankings. That should be a thing, right? They should be allowed to opt out, right? Just like other events, let's say a pre-local that we know is going to be an A-tier pre-local. If that pre-local wants to apply to Lumi Rank to count their event, before the event happens, not after. I don't think we should ever allow an event after. That should be the case. If you have an event that is that level and you want it to count for Lumi Rank and you know you're going to reach the attendance, I don't care that it creates major division in the rankings. Make the TOs responsible. Also, let's be real. SmashCon's not going to do it. And it undermines... No, I mean, if everybody goes into an event knowing that the event doesn't count for rankings. That's the big key. You have to know going in. It cannot be retroactively changed. That's what we're having a huge issue with here in Lumi Rank, is when like a player DQs out of nowhere. And now the change goes from a B tier to a C tier. And now all the effort that those players just put into the system doesn't matter because that one player dropped out. That sucks. That's like awful for the player who really does care about the Lumi Rank points, which again, I don't think should be the goal of any player here. But I do think there is a lot of holes in the Lumi Rank system. I agree. I think Creek should... I think the PRs of the top 2 or 3 of every region should have something count. Even if it's minimal, even if you want to put the 10-point minimum on there. So, why does Smirk not count? Because he didn't travel like a bitch. But I think top 3 in every region, if you're a state PR, right? Because we don't want to get into the point of like, well, we have Northern Colorado and Southern Colorado. Oh, you guys have SOTA and like regular Utah. So like, you just got to make sure we get very consistent with that with state PRs. But I agree. I think every state should have 3 players that count for Lumi Rank, and then those be at least the PR players in their region. And then anybody who earns points also counts. So like if let's say it's me, Kronos, Smirk as our 3 in Colorado, right? And Mr. Ping goes out and gets top 3 at a major and gets points too. Awesome. Colorado now has 4 because we have another player that earned it, right? It's a way to fix it. I do agree that it is so hard to have a fair ranking system. So, I saw something. Tempest, is there any way we could bring people to Colorado? Is there any way we could bring people to Colorado? Is there... where is this? South Suburban esports. Where are we? Is it this one? No, I don't know where to find it. We're gonna go to Start GG. That's where we find it. Right? So, the only way that there it is, the Fall Showcase, right? The only way that people will come to Colorado is 2 keys. 1, there does need to be a pop bonus if we want to bring a top player, right? 2, this. Discounts for traveling for some players, and having different, like, reasons to go, okay? So, like, this one's good. We have Tekken, we have Street Fighter. Like, we should be able to blow this event up. Why the hell is there 7 entrants? Why? Right? Like, why is it's your boy Snoop and me as the only 2. Oh, wait, and Jaws as the only 3 right now for this event. Why? Colorado should automatically be putting this at 50 entrants. This should already be at 50. Why can't we get players to come? Because we suck. We suck as a scene at pre-regging. We suck at promoting. We suck at showcasing that we care about bringing top players out. We don't want to because we don't show it. I made a post saying, hey, I want my out-of-state friends to come because I want to hang with them. I'm trying. But, like, when they look at this page and they see 7, nobody's going to even look at flights. Nobody's even going to look at booking. It's just how it is, right? We also should compensate and get 2 top players to come out somehow, right? Find a way to get 2 top players. That's another thing. Either fundraise to get a top player out here, help them out a little bit with a flight, and then give them housing with a player. Like, there are ways we can do this and blow it up more. We just don't. And why don't we? I don't know. I can't answer that for the scene. I really wish I could. But this is what hurts me. 7 attendees. This page has been out for about a week now, right? And I'll probably repost about it again now that I see this. Say, hey, I want this to blow up. Let's blow it up, please. Let's go. And we'll get to 10 entrants. Because 3 people will look at it and be like, oh, yeah, I should sign up. But, like, we should be having all of Colorado. As many people that can commit. Oh, yeah, pre-registering. Especially in this one where it's a pay at venue. It's not even, you're not even committing to going. It's like, you're not even paying yet. Why don't you message Smirk and Ping about it directly? Because they're both awful at advertising. Smirk's very focused on his own little Smirk host. So that's his focus. And I'll message them both, but they're both bad about it. And it's just like, Smirk and Ping both talk about wanting to grow the scene, and why does it have to be me who has to push everybody else? This should be everybody pushing each other, right? The fact that it's up to me to try to be like, Smirk, come on. Ping, come on. Kronos, come on. Like, ugh, it drives me insane. Because I care the most. But, like, how many players in Colorado say they would love to have a major here? Like, the amount, like, imagine we have a major twice a year, once a year. And Leo, Riddles, Tweak. Just come by. Just, they're here. You get to see those players that you see all the time. Not that many Colorado players travel, right? Like, if we're being real, there are maybe 20 Colorado players overall who will go to more than one event a year out of state. And I'm saying 20 players in Colorado who will go to more than one. But they still watch the Smash tournaments. They still see it. It'd be so cool to bring it here. But we don't push. And really, this FGC Spring Showcase should be like a showcase. Let's get some, like, let's put, I don't know, Kronos versus who's Tweak, go Runback. Make it like an event for those, like, people. Invite Tweak out. Let Kronos and Tweak have their run back as a showcase event. Literally so many ideas that just... I could go on for this forever. But I'm not an event organizer. I am not a TO. I know there is way more work that goes into it than what I'm saying, right? But when we have an event like this, where the venue is already secured, where they have put in a prize pool here, right? Because they're going to increase this as long as we increase this, right? So it's insane. Yeah, look, current prize pool bonuses, $1,000 for all these events. We have 7 entrants. We don't even have the FGC community in here yet. Melee, barely here, right? Guilty Gear Strive. I know there's 20 people who will enter this event. Minimum. Why the hell are they not here, right? Like, milestones. Extra $100 if we get 64. That's so doable. Every 16 after this is an extra 50. So literally, let's just do some quick math, right? Like, if we had 200 entrants, we're already approaching a 1K prize pool. Easily. 64 is a lot for Colorado. We have fucking 50. We have Springs, Foco. Each of their own weeklies have like 40. Gonna lose it. And if you're saying that, oh, it's just one event. No, everybody in the scene should be dedicating, trying to get this day off. You have 4 months. 3 months now, but 3 months to get 1 day off. 1 day. 3 months of a notice. And it's free to register. So even if you're not committing to it, you could just do it. Yeah, Noco's terrible about going out. This could be a regional. Go out. I will yell at all of you in Foco. I will call you all the... I hate it here. I hate it here. Now, this is thing, okay? Getting them up to an ESF. I don't think that it matters about an ESF. That's a weekly trip that happens. It's a weekly. They could go to a weekly in Springs. They don't need to travel to ESF. This is supposed to be a premier event. We need to bring people to premier events. Is there any special incentives? To be honest, I think that's something that needs to be worked on. I don't think there really is that many other incentives. I know they do raffles. I know that like Red Bull's gonna be there, and I know they're gonna bring their little like racing rigs. I know that there's other, like, it's a showcase, so there's sponsors, there's gonna be indie game developers. They need to advertise that here, for sure. I don't think they're doing a good enough job advertising what's there. Right? Let's see. Yeah, who could use the Red Bull racing simulators, right? There's literally going to be a Red Bull, like, thing there. This is sponsored by Red Bull, right? There is going to be raffles. There's going to be a way for you to get a free food and beverage coupon. Like, there's just so much. Right? Even this. Children 7 years and under who paid the venue fee, you can enter any event. Right? Like, it's, the thing is, weeklies, I don't care about driving people up for a weekly. I understand it's not worth it to make the drive to ESF, especially every week. Screw that, right? I get that. I'm not that committed. If I wasn't a player who had a dream of being state PR, I would not do that drive every week. Screw that, right? Especially if I'm going 1-2-2-2 or 0-2. I wouldn't want to do an hour drive to go 0-2. That sucks. I get it, right? But this is a premier tournament. We need to advertise it as the Colorado tournament to be at. This happens once. Be here. That's a huge difference, right? Even Smirks Monthly, right? Should be something that we're like, hey, this only happens once a month. You should come up for this. If you're going to travel one time in a month, make it this day. That's the point of a monthly, really, is it should be like, we really want everybody to come here. It only happens once. Please come to this event. That's the key here. This is a once only. Yeah, no, right. Well, and like I said, I didn't even go to the last Smirkos, was too much work. A monthly might not even be worth it enough to go, right? But if we want to ever have a major, have a regional, or have an event that is worth outside people to go to, then we need to bring that effort into getting people to come and to make it feel like we as a Colorado scene push, right? And this is the thing. I think Smirk has done a good job too. Tempest, I think Smirk did an amazing job with the first Smirk host. He literally went up to like every single player and was like, "You're going to Smirk host, right? You're going to Smirk host, right? You're going to Smirk host, Smirk host." He's advertising. He wanted it to be good. I want to see him continue to do that for Smirk host, because if he stops, the entrance will drop because it'll be less interesting. Smirk's pushing it, which is awesome, right? But we need that same energy for this event. We need that same energy when localhost is going to announce their big event that has a pot bonus, right? Yeah, when I check the Discord, you have to scroll before you even find this. It's... ah! Gonna lose it! Who would have thought? This is where you're going to see me lose it. You're going to see me losing it here. Losing it! We're not even at my secondary struggles yet, and I'm losing it. But like, and this is the thing. We want to focus on specifically Arizona, Utah, New Mexico. I would love if those three regions, and Wyoming, right? And maybe even Kansas, right? Would come to this. If we got Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Wyoming to come to this, I'll take my 10 people. Honestly, when we went up to that Wyoming tournament, there was like 30, 40. Let's get them down here for one day. 30, 40 there. Like, they are a scene too. Let's grab them. New Mexico, they're small as shit, but let's grab their 30, 40. Like, 30, 40, 30, 40, our 30, 40. We're at 120 already. Right? But Colorado has literally 80 plus players that should be already signed up for this. If we count all of our regions, Jimsville, I don't care that they're O2ers. I don't care that they're 1-2ers. This is an event. We need them. We need all those people. I would love if Jimsville's prize was free entry to this. You know, that's an idea. If their like little bigger event was like an entry to this, get the free event to give them something good for it. But like, there are so many ways. We need this to be what we're focusing our energy on. Every weekly, hey, sign up for the showcase in blank. Event, but then when Smirk show up to Jimsville, if it was one time, cool. Jimsville gets to have Smirk one time for free. Right? It's also very cheap. Smirk might not go enter a 64-person bracket for $15 venue fee, buddy. Like, that's the thing, Spencer. Like, it's a $15 venue fee. Woo! If Smirk goes and sits through a 100-man bracket for a $15 venue fee, woo! Go, buddy! Right? Like, that's the nice part of those free to enter or very cheap events is like, this is not much, right? To give to them. Or even the $20. Smirk's not going to go sit through a 64-person bracket for a $20 venue fee. I'm sorry. Thanks, Tep. I'm glad you stopped by. You got me on this stupid tangent here, too. Hi, B-Fan. I'm losing my mind here. But, like, I so would love to see this event or any event that we really want to blow up. Okay? I want to see Colorado push those events. We don't push events well unless we have a personal gain. Trying my best to travel more. Yeah. I mean, I want to go to I want Utah, Kansas, Colorado, and Arizona, and Wyoming, and New Mexico. I want to be able to drive to each of those and say, awesome, that's 6 regionals a year that we could go out and support each other at. The top players, at least. Yeah, I know, they're all fake states. God. What the problem with the Southwest is we all say we don't exist, and then we don't go. I just don't want to keep doing it. Side note, but I would love to come to Colorado if you want to come here, as long as you're not allergic to cats, I would house people for a week here. Like, if you wanted to come here for a week and try to go to things, or a weekend, you know, you had that Springs Regional with a Send and Fizz, right? Why didn't, like, we should have pushed that even harder. So, like, those little things matter. Those little B-Fan, if you come to Colorado, you better hit me up. There will be locals. There's locals almost every day. The colorless crab. Do you agree with Lumi ranking or not? Like, Ken's not top 10. That's for sure. Ken's definitely not top 10. What Lumi rank thing? Is it a character rank? Is this? No, that's not it. Is it here? Is it? It should be on Lumi Rank's website if they did something. What would they do? News? Let's go to Smash Bros. Because we're all here. I don't even know what Lumi Rank thing we're looking at. Let's just go to their Twitter. Lumi Rank. Boom. You had to cancel the week of? Yeah. No, it happens. I feel like this was something related to something like this earlier. I don't even know where the character rankings are. Did Lumirank do a tier list eventually? Anybody know? I mean, they did obviously there's character representation. Yeah, I don't follow too much of the Lumirank stuff. Like, when things pop up, I'll read it, but I don't. Bernard's Loop, that's who usually does these, like, nicer things. Here, this is good. Easy freezy. Let's look at, is this 2023? Okay. So, like, oh, these are just character placements, right? This is probably more of an accurate tier list than a lot of things they make, but, like, I don't know. Tier lists don't really matter for me with characters because there's so many matchups. If I'm honest, like, there's just so many matchups that the character tier lists just don't matter. So, but with that, this is gonna be something that I haven't made in a long time. I haven't made a tier list of ZSS versus everybody. I'm not even gonna do like 0.5s or 1s or whatever. It's either I win, I'm even, or I lose. Okay? So I'm gonna do a ZSS tier list because I don't do them ever. Okay? ZSS does indeed beat Steve. Little fact, it's not by a lot. Definitely closer to even. But if I'm going to put an edge, ZSS does beat Steve. It's in the 0.5 category, but yes, ZSS wins here. Probably the most relevant matchup here. Olimar. Okay, this is controversial. I think it's even. Okay? Yes, he's short. Yes, he's annoying, and that's normally why Mars puts him in loses. But, like, his shield is so pokeable. It's so pokeable that, like, we should be able to get some pokes that win. Okay? Flick camping, though, is a thing, right? Like, I could camp against... So, if we go back to Steve, here are the things that Steve struggles with Zero Suit. Zero Suit can back air Steve out of minecart if we hit Steve. That's a huge deal to hit Steve out of minecart. We have flip kick for approaches, very good movement, and ways to just get around blocks. Also, when we're trying to get through blocks, the fact that we could go over it fast or just like drop fair really quick or drop nair, and it does really well against dirt, and 2 nairs will end the blocks, really easy for us to do, right? I just think we get a rush down Steve, not allow them to get mining resources, and that just pushes it. I don't think it's strong winning, right? Like, this is definitely a, like, I barely win this, but we do win it. But Diamond Steve is broken. If Steve had Diamond all the time, it's losing. But Steve doesn't have Diamond all the time. We should be able to prevent that. Banjo, we beat. Sadly, we beat. Okay? Bayo, I think we lose. Okay? Also, unless the Steve is like ZSS can catch Steve while building the wall. Exactly. Like, we should be able to be preemptive, right? We should be able to be in positions that make building the wall scary. A Steve should build the wall, and we nair that thing before he even gets down and starts mining. So, yeah. Bowser, we beat. Bowser Jr., we beat. Byleth, we actually go even with. I'm not going to use that Byleth. I'm using this Byleth. Oh, you know what? I'm going to add an extra tier. Just because I don't want this, I'm just going to put duplicates. Because I hate having the stupid duplicate characters around. So, Captain Falcon. We win. Charizard. I'll do it with each of them. We beat Charizard. We lose to Chrom. We lose to Cloud. We lose to Corrin. We go even with Peach and Daisy. We actually lose to Pit. We beat Samus and Dark Samus. We lose to Diddy Kong. We beat Donkey Kong. We beat Doc. We beat that one. We beat the Duck Hunts. We lose to, or we get rid of that one. We lose to Falco. We lose to Fox. We beat the Ganon. We lose to Greninja. I believe we beat the hero, but some people disagree with me on that one. But I'm saying this, I'm doing this list because I'm going to need a secondary for anything that is even or losing, and I want to build this so that I can think of character secondaries that might help me deal with the rest of these. Ice Climbers, we beat. Ike, we lose. Incineroar, we beat. Inkling, we lose. Isabelle, we beat. Ivy, we actually really beat Ivy, but we lose very hard to Joker. We destroy Jigglypuff. We destroy Kazuya. We lose to Ken. We beat, or I lose to Ken. Screw it. I'll say it. I lose to Ken. Beat DDD. Beat K-Rool. We go even with Kirby. Fuck this little vat. Fuck this little man right here. I hate Kirby. We go even with Kirby though. We actually go even with Link. Kind of a weird one, but I actually think we go even there. Little Mac, we beat. Even though I hate it. Little Lucario, we definitely beat. Lucas, we beat. Lucina, we lose. Luigi, we beat. Mario, we beat. Marth, we lose. Mega Man, we lose. Meta Knight is even. Mewtwo, we beat. Me, Brawler is even, but we beat Gunner and Sword Fighter. Min Min, we beat, but it's hard. Game & Watch, we beat. Mithra, we lose. Do you think there are characters that don't need a secondary? Yes. I do think ZSS can be solo viable, but you have to get very good at like the two very distinct playstyles of Zero Suit. And I just don't think I have that in me to do it well. If I can learn doorstop style of Zero Suit, and play that well, I think I could stay solo ZSS. But matchups like Mithra, like Joker, like Fox, like Diddy, like Bayo, like Inkling, like Cloud, those are not fun for Zero Suit. Like, those are the awful matchups. I would consider Steve if that solves it, but they're banned in a lot of regions, so I don't think that solves it if they're banned. But like since there's matchups that it's just so hard, like fighting Mithra is so hard with Zero Suit. It's so much work. And yes, I could be a solo main Zero Suit and try to scrap my way to a win, but if I can just play a different character and destroy Mithra without having to work too hard, why wouldn't I? Right? The goal is to win rather than to. And I, for one, play so many characters. And I'll be honest, I don't enjoy Zero Suit to that degree where I want to sit there and learn every little thing. I don't want to learn every little detail of like. I get bored playing Zero Suit in the current meta. I don't like her playstyle in the current meta. I don't like it. So she's my best character, no doubt. I'm not gonna get rid of her, but I don't enjoy her as much as I used to, which is why I'm gonna look at character counterpicking now, because I get frustrated with her. You're telling me Zare camping isn't fun? No, it's not. So yeah, boring. Yeah, if you get bored with a character, switch it up for your own sake. So Ness we beat, Pac-Man we beat, Palu we lose. Peach, like I said, I'll put it next to Daisy. I'll put Daisy down here, I guess. Pichu. I'm not scared of Pichu personally, but I've heard things. Pikachu, though, we do lose. Olimar. I'm going to put even. I really don't think we lose that matchup. I don't. I legit picked up Steve because I got bored. Yeah, Zero Suit is just. Oh, do I already have Alf? Oh, look at that. Ha, that's funny. I'm glad that I put them in the same tier. It would have been very awkward if I didn't put them in the same tier. That's the thing, is for me, Zero Suit's playstyle is very reading player dependent. Like, I have to work so hard to read a player's options and just take little crumbs of damage at a time and eventually get a big read, right? Some characters, like Mithra, just go for it and will eventually just get the damage because their neutral's insane. Steve, you get an up tilt, you carry it for a mile. DK, it's a very simple game plan. You get a grab, you do an up air. Great. You know, like a lot of characters have these and do better, but yeah. Oh. I've never picked him up because of the meta, but it's cool. I just don't know if I'll ever go to Steve ban. Yeah, I mean, I personally am not for a Steve ban. I will not be one who complains if Steve is banned because that helps me out as a player, right? But I will not be one who's like, we need to ban Steve. In fact, I was like, please unban Steve in Colorado so I can learn the stupid matchup. That's literally the only reason I want Steve unbanned, is let me learn this damn matchup. I hate it. So, yeah, I want everybody to pick up Steve, show me that he is the most dominant character ever in Smash Bros. So that we can justifiably ban him. But I don't want to ban him just because he looks really good and the best player in the world makes him look insane. And yes, his playstyle is kind of I don't like it. There's like 3 tweaks I would do. But like let's really dig into the meta of this character. So everybody will learn how to counterplay Steve if Steve is the most dominant character. Let's make it happen. So Piranha Plant we beat. Like I said, Pit we lose, but I am gonna where is Pit? They're different, so I'll keep them both there. Pokemon Trainer as a whole, we actually lose. Even though I have Charizard and Ivy in winning. Solely because of fucking Squirtle here, we lose the whole matchup. Okay? This is the reason we lose. But if they play solo Ivy or solo Zard, or a combination of just those two, we do beat the Pokemon trainers. But if they are just very heavy Squirtle and then only use Ivy and Zard in very specific situations, we lose. I'm gonna just put that down here. I don't even need to keep it up there, I guess. Pyra/Mythra as a whole, we totally do not win that. We lose that shit. Pyra, we actually go even with Pyra. Pyra specifically, we go even with. Mithra, we lose. Average it out, we lose. Richter, we win, but it's annoying. Ridley, are you ready for a controversial one? We go even with Ridley. I don't think we lose to Ridley, but I don't think we beat Ridley as well as it goes. Doorstop fought Raija and was like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, yeah, this character's hard to fight. Nair is huge. Absolutely huge. It's that thing where Ridley does kind of the same effect as Zero Suit, but gets more per hit and kills me at 60. So, Rob, we do beat Rob. That's a meta-relevant matchup. We beat Rob. Robin, we do beat Robin. Rosa, we do beat Rosa. Roy, we lose to Roy. Ryu, I actually do think we beat Ryu. Samus, like I said with Dark, I don't think there's a difference between the two, but I'll put them both together anyways. Sans, go away. Sephiroth. I've heard both. ZSSs have told me that they think it's even. Sometimes it's wins. Here we go. Right. I counterpicked the Rob. The matchup is really good for against Rob. It's probably the most meta relevant winning matchup we have. Sheik, we lose. Shulk is actually our worst one, ironically. Richter, even though I feel like they're the same, we do beat them. Snake, we go even with. I don't think we beat it. Don't think we lose to it. I think we go even. Sonic, I think we lose it personally, but I have heard even. But my opinion is I will lose it, so I'm going to put it in loses, right? I do think Zare camping and playing a pure timeout ZSS could put it in the even category, but I know I struggle to do that, so I'm going to put him in loses because this is a list for me to figure out character counterpicks. Sora, we do beat Sora, which is kind of cool. Steve, I already put Steve somewhere. I'll keep both Steve and Alex here. Actually, I'll just put Alex away. Okay, Terry, we beat Terry, as I have proven multiple times. Toon Link, we destroy Toon Link. We destroy Villager. We destroy Wario. We fit. We lose to Wolf. We beat Yoshi. We lose to Young Link. We beat Zelda. And then these two are duplicates as well. So, your queen wins. You keep praying a little bit, okay? You keep praying with that character. I have lost to Ben though, so it's not like it's a destroy Zelda. It's definitely like we beat Zelda, but like Zelda has cheese. So these matchups all above, every single one of these, I would look at if I fought any player, and I would say I'm going Zero Suit. No hesitation. This is the matchups for Zero Suit. Okay, and I'm looking over it, and I'd say that still. I see these characters, and Zero Suit should do well. And I agree, B-Fan, on a bad day, Zero Suit's rough. Like, a bad day with Palu is the same as a good day with Palu. A bad day with Zero Suit makes her a bottom 2 character. So, right? Evens. You know what? I'm gonna add a new category here. Right here. And since I don't have a super unsure. So we're going to make these two categories. Even, but I still go ZSS. Okay. Even, switch off ZSS. Okay. Would you go ZSS against PT? Because that's kind of split. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Would I do it? I would prefer to swap off of Zero Suit if I fought a PT. If I'm being honest. But the thing is, I don't know if they're a Squirtle heavy PT or not. So if I don't know, I probably would go ZSS first just to see if they're a Squirtle heavy PT. Because playing Squirtle's hard. And if they don't play Squirtle a very specific way, ZSS will be fine. But if they play Squirtle very grounded, F-tilt heavy, just solely tech chasing on the ground and very annoying with grab, it's very hard for me to fight that Squirtle. But if they're jumping in as Squirtle, that's a fine matchup. Then it becomes fine. So I would probably still fight. So I'll move this up. I'll put PT as even, but I'll still go ZSS. Okay, but I will say we lose to Squirtle. I don't care. We're still keeping the losing to Squirtle, but I think it's even enough that we still go ZSS. So Snake, I still go ZSS. Olimar, I still think we go ZSS. Me Brawler, I still think we do that. You know what? Yeah. Kirby's not that good. I would like to switch off a ZSS for that. I would like to switch off a ZSS for that. Same with this. Same with this. Same with this. So pretty much everything above here, I would stay Zero Suit for. And everything down here, I would like to switch off of Zero Suit for. And with the splits, that's kind of why I put Pyramithra down here as switch off, because I also have it down here. This kind of goes with your like 0.5s, honestly. You really wanted to view it as like the 0.5s almost. But this is my comfort. These are the characters that I look at, and if I hit these in bracket, I'm scared of losing to any player who has a competent any of these. Actually, Hello, I'm going to move up to even. I actually think this is just a pure skill check. I do think she loses, but I think this is just a pure skill check matchup. But I do think she does lose to these. This. Yep, these are all losing matchups right here. These are all Zero Suit strong losing matchups. If you want her worst matchups, the ones that I think are most relevant. Diddy Kong, really hard. Fox, really hard. Bayo, I think is actually very hard. Where else? Shulk is one of the worst, but I'm going with relevance. Sonic, and this is for like if I want to be a top player. I need to figure these out. This is a personal thing, but Ken I want to figure out because of Smirk. Joker. Cloud. I feel like Cloud I could make work because of the recovery issue for Cloud, but it is rough. Falco, I actually feel like we could beat Falco, but I think Pyramithra is actually number like 1 on this list. In all honesty, Diddy, why are we going back there? All right, so yeah, like I don't really care about organizing the rest, right? Like, whoop-de-doo about the rest of them. So, but now it comes down to, so I have this list, right? So we're gonna go to a new list now. So this is the character. I want to save this actually. Save it here for now. Okay. Also, if you ever do want to support the site, it's actually been very nice. So, we're now going to, and I need to swap the display to this. Where is the window capture? We are going to this. Okay. So, this actually works, even though this is like very poorly stretched. Why is it so poorly stretched? There we go. Okay. So here we are. This is the obvious character select screen, everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out literally every character that I don't want to play. Okay. So these are characters that like I just refuse to pick up because of one reason. Oh, it is without DLC. Fuck. I actually need DLC. Give me a sec. Let me get one with DLC. I didn't even realize there was no DLC. That's a good Smash world. You know? Imagine a world without DLC. What a world it could have been. Is there a reason why I can't find the stupid roster with DLC? Okay. Dude, so many of these pictures that are on Google with the roster don't have DLC. And I hate it here. Is this it? Why do I feel like I'm missing characters here? Well, we'll find out in a sec, I guess. Um, you guys see it? Is this missing characters? I don't think so. So, here we go. Oh, look, really. Well, I don't think it's missing characters. Sora, Kazuya. Okay. All right. Well, that's right. So Sora and Kaz. So, you know what? I'm gonna say Kazuya is a maybe. So Kazuya maybe a question mark here. Okay. So I might be willing to play Kazuya, but Sora's a no. So we can cross out Sora already. Okay. So, here we go. I don't want to play Link. Link's out. I don't want to play Kirby. And these are serious competition characters, right? So we'll get rid of Kirby. We'll get rid of Link. I don't think I could pick up a Fox, so I'm gonna get rid of Fox. I don't think I could pick up a Ness. I'm gonna get rid of Ness. I don't think I'd play Falcon. I don't think that'd cover anything. Definitely will not play Ganondorf. I won't play Lucina, but I would consider Marth. I don't think I'd play Falco. I definitely would not play Pichu. That's too light. Doc's just not good. I wouldn't play Zelda. Sheik's a maybe. Ice Climbers are out. Bowser's a maybe. Both of these two are out. They're too hard. Mewtwo's out. I don't like him. I'd keep Roy, but I'd get rid of Chrom. Keep Game & Watch because it's easy to play. Meta Knight's a no. Pits I don't enjoy. So no there. Obviously Zero Suit. Wario I don't like. Snake I wouldn't play. Ike I wouldn't play. PT maybe. Diddy maybe. Little Mac no. Rosa no. Wii Fit I'll keep. Mega Man no. Villager no. Wolf's a yes. Toon Link's a yes. Rob's a yes. Lucario's a no. Olimar's a no, even though I love Pikmin. DDD's a no. This whole row's a no. Bye, all of you. Greninja's a yes. Palu's a yes. Pac-Man's a no. Robin's a no. Shulk's a no. Bowser Jr.'s a no. Ryu's a no. Okay, we're getting rid of a lot of these. Corrin's maybe. Bayo's just too hard, I think, for me to play. I think Bayo could be really good, but I don't think I could learn Bayo. So I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't like Inkling, so we get rid of Inkling. Keep Min. Keep Byleth. Say no to Terry. Keep Banjo, even though I think he's bad. Hero. Keep Joker. People want me to pick up Joker. Maybe. Get rid of Piranha Plant. Get rid of Incineroar. Get rid of Isabelle. Careville's funny, but I'm not going to actually seriously grab him. No Richter, no Simon, no Ridley. Okay, so these are gone. No Steve, no Sephiroth, no Mies. Okay, so here we are. This is the list of characters that I am willing to play. Mario, DK, Samus, yeah. So, now, let's highlight, I think it'll work well, characters that, like, I think do well as complements to Zero Suit. So I've done Mario. Oh man, that's not gonna work well. Let's do blue. Well, actually, I should just grab a labeler at this point. Can I put text boxes, please? Aw, boo. All right, well, this is good. So this is my list right here. And you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab another tier list maker, and I'm just gonna put the characters in now into the tier list maker. So, potential characters. So, and then we will figure out what kind of categories we want them to be after. So, Let's grab all of them. Can I wish I could just type them and they'd pop in. That'd be so much easier. Mario, DK, Samus. Where are you at? Yoshi, Pika. So a lot of the purpose of what I do here is I really want to sit down and look at each character and the tools that they have and figure out if there is a reason, given the matchups that I have already looked at, right? Is there a reason I should play that character? Okay. And I want to be very, very thorough about it with every character that I have enjoyed playing. Because if I've enjoyed playing them, then there's no reason I shouldn't at least give them a shot. Yeah, I honestly I think Wii Fit's gonna eventually go down to no. But like I said, I want to be very thorough with this. I want to be 100% like I don't think I will pick up this character. Just because I think it's very important to be just have a good reason for what I do. So, Falco, I said no. Crom, I said no. Pitts, I said no. Corn, did I say yes? I think I might have said yes to that one, actually. Corn. And I'm going with my initial gut. If I said no to Corn the first time, nope, I kept her on. Okay. Byleth. I forgot Byleth. Oh, no, Byleth's on there. Cool. Not going to put Zero Suit on there. Rob can be on there. Kazuya. I know. I'm dragging them all on right now. So I'm looking at the tier list on that you guys are seeing, and I'm just grabbing all the characters really quick. So just to make sure I have them all. Young Link. That's one I'm missing. Did I keep Toon Link also? Yeah, so Toon Link. Young Link. Where the hell are you, buddy? Okay. Diddy Kong. Palutena definitely was on there. I already got Greninja. Cloud. Corrin, Joker. Did I grab Joker? I did. Hero, Banjo, Byleth, Min Min. I forgot about Min Min. Okay. Let me do one last run through, but I think that's everybody. Okay. So let's swap back over to the tier list. So, boom. Here we are. So these are all the characters that I have potentially for secondaries. Okay. These are characters that, in my opinion, I could learn. Right? Now, I'm gonna go when I go through, I'm definitely gonna have a list where I just don't like not likely is what I'm gonna put this tier as. Make it kind of reddish, pinkish. Like Wii Fit. Like Squid already talked about. I know Wii Fit's matchup spread is pretty bad. I don't really see myself playing that kind of weird matchup character. Even though there are some matchups, like I said, with this list over here, where I'm looking at it and I'm like, does Wii Fit beat Pyramithra? No. Does Wii Fit beat Diddy? No. Does Wii Fit beat Fox? No. Like, the fact that I keep saying no, and then it's like, maybe Ken. And maybe Inkling. Like, no. This is not a good matchup spread for... Oh, you think you beat Diddy? Okay. I could see that, I guess. Diddy can't do too much, right? So, but like... It's still just out of these matchups. I look at Wii Fit, and I just don't see a lot, right? So I'm actually gonna just put 2 extra tiers, and I think I know what tiers I'm gonna label them as now. So, majority better matchups. So this is just gonna be a tier where if I think that looking at this list of characters, not this list, I don't care about that, I don't care about that, I don't care about this anymore. Don't care about this. Okay. If I look at this and I would say this character can do well against majority of this losing column, right? Hell, let's just get Peach. Let's just get these guys in there. Other than, I guess, Pyra. Screw them. If a majority here do better, right, then I'll do that. And then if a Diddy beats us, it's player diff. That makes sense. And then this will be minority characters, okay? Because we don't want to pick up too many, right? So we're going to do these two lists right now. Isaac! Thank you, Isaac! So, and then if I go down here and I say, I just don't believe that I could pick them up, or I don't, think it's going to fit. So, but Isaac, I'm sure it's going to go off in a second, but thank you for the sub. It's crazy that you're on that streak. So, woo! It's up here in the corner. It's not really visible very well. But hey, we'll take it. So, Savi. My cat's dumb. So, but thank you, Isaac. So here we are. Majority better matchups, right? We're trying to cover this. This is hard. So, let's start with Yoshi. So, Yoshi, I'm just going to put, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 29 matchups, so you need 15 to be winning. That's actually perfect. Again, we got a perfect amount of matchups. So, Yoshi. I actually think Yoshi could do well against Peach. So that's one. Do not think they beat Ridley. Do not think they beat Aegis. They could do well against Diddy. Nope, they lose to Link. They could do well against Fox. Bayo, Shulk, Young Link. Could do well against Sonic. Could do well against Ken. I need you to go away because I think PT is not a thing. Oh, that makes it 28. Oh well. Let's throw one extra matchup down here. Screw it. Come here, Olimar. True. So here we are. Yoshi's still at 5, 6 with Sheik, 7 with Pika. I'm gonna say it's still minority. So Yoshi doesn't cover a majority here. Pyramithra, this one's interesting. I think beats this. I think beats this. I think loses to this. Beats this. Loses to this. Beats Bayo. So 4. Loses to Shulk. Beats Young Link though. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, no, ignore Pit. 10, 11. Loses. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7. I think Pyramithra does beat a majority. So that puts them there. Greninja does beat Peach. Does beat Ridley. Does not beat Pyramithra. Does beat Diddy. Does beat Link. Does beat, or at least goes even with Fox. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, yeah. Okay. Not much, but I'll take it. I already don't even need to look. I know it's not going to be a majority in that case. Mario, my current secondary. Could be, loses, could be, loses, loses. Actually, could be, could be hard, but could be 6. Loses, 7. Loses. Yeah. Doesn't even beat a majority. Joker, very interesting one. Joker beats this. Joker probably beats this. Joker loses to that. Joker beats Diddy. Joker beats Link. Joker beats Fox. Joker probably does well against Bayo, honestly, with drag downs. Joker probably beats Shulk. Joker beats that. Joker does well against that. Joker beats that. Joker does at least well against this, this, and this. Joker's definitely going to be in the majority list. Okay, Samus can do well here. Sure. No. Actually, these are interesting with Samus. Link, yes. Fox, no. Bayo, probably not. I don't know, but I'm going to say no. No. Or yes here. No here, no here, no here. Well, yes here, actually. Yes. Yes. Huh. Looks like Cloud might be... I'm just going to look at it as a general. Actually, rather than going counting and being specific. Unless I want to have a reason. Pikachu! Lose, lose, lose. Lose, lose, lose. Lose, lose, lose. I actually don't like Pika in a lot of these, so I'm going to put just not likely. I don't think I'm going to learn Pika. Luigi. Luigi's silly. Does he do well? He is just a grab, kill, confirm kind of character. That could be really good against some of this. Like, I think Luigi could beat Peach. I think Luigi could beat Diddy. I think Luigi could beat Link. Could beat Fox. Probably loses to Bayo still. Loses here, loses here. Sonic's interesting, but probably loses still. Could beat Ken. Could beat Joker. Could beat Cloud. No, probably loses to Cloud still. Loses, loses, loses. Probably could beat Sheik just because it takes forever to kill. Probably could beat Wolf. Loses, 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 beats. Probably loses. Loses, loses. Yeah, I mean, Luigi's in an unlikely, but not out. Potential characters, Puff. Puff, you do not win at half of these. I know this already. Bowser. Alright, bye, B-Fan. Bye. Okay. Low key, Bowser is not out of my list in this. I know Bowser loses more, but I don't know if Bowser's out. Marth is out. Marth is out. I'm thinking about me playing him. It's just not happening in my head. I don't think I will be able to play a good enough Marth that it's a secondary. In fact, I would rather play Hero than Marth. Pokemon Trainer. This was one I actually thought about, and I was practicing it a little bit. But I'm looking at this matchup spread, and I really don't like the Swordy World fighting with this. So I'm actually going to take out PT. I don't really think I want PT. Wolf, though, the fact that Wolf has a laser that is going to shoot through a lot of things and be very annoying to Swordies is a huge factor here. Right? Like, I do think Wolf could do well against Peach. I think Wolf could do well against Diddy versus Link versus Fox. Probably not versus Bayo, but could do well against Young Link. Could do well against Sonic. Ken. Probably lose it to Ken. Could beat Joker. Could beat Cloud. Could beat a Chrom by just getting him off stage. Sheik. Yeah. Let's put Wolf in the majority better matchups. Corrin. Corrin's the 50-50 character. So, like, I don't really know if Corrin wins or loses. I don't know these well enough. But if I think about the fact that Corrin really is, like, trapping them in the air a lot, and who can kind of just swing out of the air and get down, a lot of these characters are Swordies, and so I don't see myself playing Corrin. Byleth I actually have played before, and I do enjoy a lot. I mean, Byleth could do well against Peach. Probably still loses to Ridley, but has a nice recovery. Diddy could be okay. Link does well. Fox, the Nair is kind of nice. Can make it hard for Fox to trap. Bayo, I actually think Byleth might do well there because I could just back her side B. Shulk probably does well. Young Link, probably not. Probably loses that. Sonic, I probably lose. Ken probably does well. Joker probably is even. Cloud's even. Even. He wins. Against Inkling. Probably loses to Pika still. Probably loses to Mega Man just because of speed. Probably goes even with this sorting group. Probably beats Greninja. Probably beats Olimar. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the higher likelihood. Rob. Rob is a dumb character. But to be honest, I'm looking at these matchups. Low key, these aren't fun for Rob either. Bad. I don't think this is great. Bad. Bad. Wins. Bad. 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 Okay. Bad. Bad. Okay. Bad. Bad. Like, I don't. I'm putting Rob in the minority list. I'm not gonna remove him yet. Kazuya probably does well. Kazuya is a troll pick. But if I learn Kazuya, I think I could have a cheese character that does win me some of these matches. Game and Watch actually low key is probably good in a lot of these. Wins, wins. Wins against Bayo. That's a big one. Probably does well against Ken. Probably does well against Joker. Probably does well against Cloud. Does well against Sheik because they can't kill. Does well against Wolf. And probably doesn't do too well. But beats Pika, beats Inkling. Low key, Game & Watch has a better matchup chart. Banjo is definitely lower, but I am better with the character. Toon Link probably loses a lot of this. Yeah, Toon Link's losing a lot of this. So I'm going to put Toon Link down, and in the same vein, I was thinking about Young Link as well. The projectiles are nice, like don't get me wrong, but again is this chip damage that like am I going to be able to get to the kill? And with the amount of confirms that you got to do with Young Link, I don't even think it's likely I'm going to pick him up. Diddy, throw a banana. Peach probably does fine because of float. Probably Ridley probably does okay. Pyramithra can be annoying. So far meh. But beats. Actually, probably loses to Fox, but beats Bayo. Can beat Shulk. Can do well against Sonic. Can do well against Ken. Can do well against Joker. Does okay against the sorties. Definitely beats this one. Beats that one. I'm gonna put Diddy in the majority. Palu's the even monster. Definitely does the majority, but it's even. Cloud is one I also really heavily considered. Where are we at with Cloud? None of these characters. So this is for Cloud. I'm gonna think about edge guarding. How bad am I gonna get edge guarded with a lot of this cast? Peach, it's a little annoying. I'm okay against Pyramithra. Diddy, just a banana. Who cares? Link's bomb. Who cares? Fox. Who cares? Bayo will kill me. Shulk. Who cares? Young Link. Who cares? Sonic's pretty bad, but I've seen Spargo enough. It's doable. Ken. Who cares? Joker. Who cares? Pit's a little rough. Honestly, a majority of these characters are not gonna super edge guard me, and that's okay. Min, I just don't see myself playing. Okay, so we have narrowed the list down. So we're removing these, and we are removing these. I've gotten rid of them. The characters that were in that list are gone. So now we're down to these characters. So we need to make a new chart. This is going to be top choices here. Okay, so we'll have the golden top choices. And then I am going to go ahead and make a potential list. Or I'm going to put a pocket list. And the point of this pocket list is that there is some matchups where I believe I don't need to do a lot of work, and this character will cover something. So an example of a pocket matchup. right? Cloud, DK. DK is a pocket character that I think I could pull out for like a Cloud, for possibly a Wolf, for possibly an Inkling, for possibly an Olimar. So things that are just like, I could pull this a Rusty DK, but the matchup is not that bad. So I don't need to be very like picky about the tech skill here, right? Another pocket here is Puff, because I already have a Puff, and it's the same reason is I think like Joker, I could cheese it out with Puff. Sheik, I could cheese with Puff. Pika, I actually think Puff does well against Pika. So they stay in the list, right? There actually is going to be a third one that I just thought of, and it's going to be not happening. So this is after they may have made it through round 1, but they're not making it through here, right? They were okay, but I just don't foresee myself sitting down and doing it. Sadly, this hurts me a lot on the inside. Banjo is probably in the not happening tier. Well, actually, low-key, my Banjo is good. So let's see. What could Banjo do well against? Banjo could do well against, honestly, Peach. Throwing a grenade is very annoying for this character. Could do well against Diddy Kong. Could do well against Youngling Projectile. Could throw something at some... You know what? No. Quick Pocket. Banjo, get up here. I don't think it's... Well, you know what? I'm actually going to have a top choice here. Banjo is actually going up there. I think Banjo might do something for me in this. Because I think Banjo does well against Peach. I think Banjo could do well against Diddy. I think Banjo could do well against Fox. It's weird. Bayo having a grenade is huge. Especially one that bounces weird. Because then their witch timing it is going to be tough. Does well against Ken. Does okay against Joker. I just can't be dumb. So... I'm gonna be real. If I'm pulling Banjo out, it better have a good reason. But I don't think it's gonna be a majority. It's not one that I should put all my time and energy into. I'll back off my Banjo love for a little bit and be real. All right. Let's start with the minority characters. Bowser. I think Bowser fits under the same realm as DK. But honestly, the only reason I will pick DK or Bowser over DK is if I want to up B out of shield. That is the only reason I will be picking Bowser over DK. Is if I want to have that up B out of shield against these characters. Low key, that is the only benefit I see of Bowser over DK. So, Luigi. Again, does Luigi go into the not happening or does it just go into the quick pockets? Again, I might break it down more after. We'll see. I'm just looking and thinking. I want to grab and I want to not get edge guarded and I want to just combo. So those are the 3 criterias for having a Luigi. Is I don't want to get edge guarded. So like Ridley would fuck Luigi. I want to get a grab, which most of these characters are going to be hard to get grabs against. Diddy maybe is one of the easier ones. Ken. Right? Okay. Luigi gets to survive in the quick pocket category. I'm actually going to add a in-between category of like second choices. Okay. So these are characters that like I actually really do think might fit something, but they're not at the top. Luigi's simple, so that's why he stays under the quick pocket category. All right, Mario. Mario is going to just stay at the second choice. He's been my character. He's done okay. I'm actually going to put Palu in my second choice as well because I don't really feel like I need to worry about these two. I think they're already solid in my secondary list. So, like, I'm not really going to worry about building these two up right now. So, they're not focuses at all. They're just here as solid characters that I can play. All right, Yoshi. Yoshi is interesting. Yoshi is super interesting. Like I said, Yoshidora gives me faith in Yoshi, and I do think Yoshi does well against Peach, Pikachu, Inkling. Can do okay against Olimar. Can do okay against Fox. Can do okay against even Ken. Sheik. Low key, Yoshi actually gets a bump. I think I'm gonna look into Yoshi as a second choice. Minority. We got Rob and uh, Young Link. You know what? Young Link's not happening. Just let's take that away. Rob. God, I have to learn the. No, Rob's not happening either. Okay, so we're done with that list. We get rid of those two. Okay, so now we got to what I would say is probably the characters that will make it into the top choices. Pyramithra already is a top choice for me. Pyramithra is just good, is solid, would be a great character to have as my second best character. Does well here, does well here, does well here, like, does well, right? Cloud. Low key, Cloud is in the second choice. Being exploited through it feels annoying, but having the ability to space, I trust myself in how I play neutral, and my spacing with Cloud is probably pretty good. That should help me against a lot of these sortie matchups that I just don't want to fight, as well as could help me against Sonic because there's a lot of odds against that. I think could do well against Ken. And against like Wolf, right? But like Fox will probably beat me up. Sheik might beat me up. Ridley would beat me up low key, right? So it's one of those where it's like it's a second choice, but like it could be really good. Diddy Kong is actually in the top choices. Um, a lot of people doubt my Diddy. Even I've doubted my Diddy, but I keep coming back to Diddy because it allows me to play a slower paced game that is very focused around confirms. I wait for a banana confirm, I get some grabs, and I get some side Bs. And I have pretty good aerials, and I do have some cheesy spike options. That is something that I do need, is I need a spike out of a character. Puff being the only exception because I have an aerial or I have a rest. Right? So having that spike is a huge thing. I think Diddy stays there. Hero. Dude, Hero is so weird because I don't trust it. I don't. It Hero feels desperation-y, so it's like, do I want to risk it ever in a bracket match? But like, let's be real. Hero could do very well against Peach. Hero could do very well against Fox with Accelerate if you continue to have it. Hero could do great against Bayo. Hero could do great against Young Link, against Sonic, against Kent. Like, Hero could do so well. Hero is like such a polarizing thing. Mm. The thing is Hero a quick pocket? Is Hero a character that I could just pull out and play without ever really practicing it? Because, like, Banjo low key, I just enjoy, so I can make him work. Luigi's simple. I know the 0 to death. And neutral, just simple. Puff, really good, but has bad matchup spread. Heavies are heavies. Hero is the weird one. I think Hero can go here. I do not think I'm going to put too much time on like these ones where I would dedicate lab time. But I could see Hero popping in. Game and Watch. I don't think requires lab time, but I've never touched that character. So he cannot go into quick pocket. He is not ready for it. I have not played enough of him to be allowing him in that area. So, is he a primary choice here? I'm actually going to say it's not happening. I don't think Game & Watch is that good into what I need. The fact that sorties are generally going to be okay against Game & Watch, I'm not going to be able to play that style. Greninja. Do I believe in the Greninja? I already know I have a pocket Greninja, but that is not a reason I would pull out a Greninja. I don't think Greninja does well into this. Honestly, I'm looking at this chart. I don't like Greninja in any of this. So I'm actually gonna say he's not happening. He is the first one that I'm like kind of sad about because I actually enjoy playing him. But I don't think it's happening. Joker! Joker, Joker, Joker! Joker is broken. Joker is good. Joker is insane. Uh Joker is can beat this, can beat this, can beat that, can get like a quick Arsene and kill it so early. But I'd have to learn drag downs. I'd have to learn drag downs. I'm willing to put time into seeing if Joker will work. I will try Joker out. Joker will be put into the lab and try it out here. Samus. I actually really have Samus up higher than I think I should. But I do think Samus low-key can do really well. I think does well against Peach, does well against Diddy, does well against Link. Can do well against Bayo, can do well against Sonic, can do well against Ken, can do well against Joker. Like, I think Samus is one that's actually up there that's a surprise for a lot of people. I've tried Samus a few times. I think I just need to understand charge shot stuff and how that works. Like what's safe, like when I do half charge shot, what can I get? When I do little charge shot and when I do full charge shot. Um, but other than that, he's pretty basic. And I have an uppy out of shield, which is very nice for characters who are getting in on me. So I actually think this is real. A majority better. Let's see. Byleth. Byleth is not a character I think you can just pull out and do well with. As much as I love Byleth, Byleth could do well here. Byleth could do well here. But like the rest of these, I don't think Byleth's happening. Another sad one. These two are my sad ones so far. I enjoy Byleth, but I just don't think it's a real secondary. Leo has shown me a lot of Byleth, but I see a lot of weakness in it too. Wolf. Wolf is actually going to be in the second choices category. I've played a lot of Wolf. I think he's good. I like the fact that I can get grabs. I like how he has smash attacks that kill. Wolf's definitely going to stay in the second list. And finally, Kazuya. Kazuya Mishima. Do I want to put time in for these matchups? Dude, Kazuya loses to Swordies, loses to Diddy, loses to Pyramithra, loses to Ike, even. Loses to Marth, Lucina, Roy. Like, I don't think Kazuya covers anything here. Maybe covers Joker. Maybe covers Ken. And Link. Because Link's the worst here. But, like, I think loses to Cloud. I think loses to Pit. I think loses to Falco. I think even loses to Sheik. But, like, dude, I think Kazuya's not happening. I've been enjoying Kazuya too, but I don't think he's happening. So, we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of this. The tier's gone. Here are my choices. I have 4 in the top. I have these 6 in second, and I have these 5 in my pockets. Okay. So we're finally getting to a point now where these 2 tier lists are going to be able to be looked at side by side. Whoa. Sorry, Jesus. Is it really not going to let me do it? Okay, well, that's fine. But like, these are interesting now. So I need to decide if I'm going to do it, right? And this is where I think it's going to get interesting. I'm going to try to shrink this just a little bit because I want to still see chat as I do this. How does it look over here for you guys? Weird, but okay. Oh, did we lose some of them? We probably lost some of them. Ooh. Oh, well, duh. That makes sense. Okay. I'll put this over here, and I will shrink this down a little bit. Actually, I don't need it to be that big. Cool. All right. So, Here we go. The final decisions here. What characters complement Zero Suit? We have broken down to the top characters that I am willing to play. Okay? So all of these characters left are characters that I enjoy in this game that I am willing to put time into and play. So if you were to ask me what characters in Smash do I enjoy playing as, boom, this is my list. There are obviously more, but like at a competitive level, these are characters that I trust could do something. Okay? So let's be very clear. Every character in the quick pocket category is staying here. None of these characters are coming up. These are characters that I trust. If I just had a moment of like blurry vision and said, I believe in DK is going to work here, I will trust these characters just out of pocket. For very little reasons, but these are my pockets. But now we need to decide what's worth it. Okay, so what is worth my time and energy when looking at the general game? Mostly my losing matchups, but like, what is worth it? I could just organize them by purely the number now of how many matchups I think they do well. But like, let's look at the category of play. So I'm going to think about the type of play styles that I am losing to and what characters will be great for countering that. So currently, shield heavy, ground heavy, and sorties are like a lot of the three, right? Ridley's kind of a shield heavy, gets to attack out of shield. Pyramithra is sword heavy. Diddy is shield heavy. Fox is shield heavy. Bayo is a rarity, but is very like burst heavy. Shulk is shield heavy. Projectile. Sonic is kind of like Bayo. Boom. Okay. So if I want to focus on ground-based play, okay. So if I want to focus on ground-based play, Diddy is definitely in this. Ironically, Samus is as well. I want to stay on the ground and be very intentional about how I'm playing. That will help cover kind of the sorties. That will kind of help cover the characters who need to jump, right? Covers sorties. It covers Ken. Honestly, this can also be really good. Joker kind of has some... No, but Joker calls out things. So no. Looking here at these, Wolf also could be ground-based play. Okay. I feel like I need to eliminate some from these categories still. Do I just get rid of some of them? Is Yoshi really gonna do anything? No. We're just gonna put this in the removed tier. I'm gonna put this to put the sadly no tier. Yoshi, I think, is gonna be removed from my list. Wolf, sadly no. And I'm not gonna give a reason yet, but I don't see myself playing Wolf. What's up, Whimsy? What's up? What's up? I'm trying to decide my counter pick characters right now, and it's so hard. It's so hard. We're getting to the... We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. So we've gotten down to the characters that I feel like, one, I'm competent with, and two, I would like to learn to play. And are good in the matchup in the current game, in the current competitive environment, right? So like all these quick pockets are characters that are very, I'm confident in my play with them. And I don't feel like I need to practice them, but I trust them, right? Whether it's with a fault or without a fault. Currently, these two are in the nose. Just I don't see them fitting into the world that I play. I see Puff working as a gimmick, but I see it working as a gimmick. Same with Luigi. I see me getting a win with Luigi because of the gimmick. But I don't ever see myself winning with Yoshi consistently or even as a gimmick. Because I feel like these two are almost too honest. And then heavies are heavies, and my banjo I'm just keeping in because I have too much pride to drop him out. Hero's a gimmick. Hero is a true gimmick, but he can be so good. Is this where I should pause? Should I be happy with these 8 characters? Pyramithra, Joker, Diddy, Samus are my top 4. Mario and Palu have already been practiced. I really don't need to work on these two. They're there. Mario has been my secondary for the last 3 years, and Palu is my doubles main character and has been my other co-main the first 3 years of the game. So, like, I trust my Mario and Palu without too much work. They don't need to be put into the lab at all. Cloud. Do I trust Cloud? Do I trust my Cloud? Do I think that I, as a player, can make Cloud work? Also, where did Sheik go during this? Did I never put Sheik in? No, because I just said Joker. If I am going to do Sheik, I would do Joker. I love Sheik, but... Did I cross Sheik out when I did this originally? No, I think I just forgot to grab Sheik, actually. That's funny. I'm going to put Sheik into the sadly no tier. Just because I want that to be clear that I actually do think I could have done Sheik, but I just don't think it's going to be worth my energy. And I'm going to change this from quick pocket to I can competently play. What would be a good word? Can already play. Like, I don't need to put any effort into these characters. I can just pull them out and go. And not care too much. Because there's not a lot of effort needed to go into Luigi. There's not a lot of effort needed to go into Puff or DK or Bowser. Okay. Pyramithra, Joker, Diddy, Samus. Cloud, you're gone. I am deciding you are gone. Hero. Hero. I love cheesing. Could I do it? Can I be a hero? You know what? Hero, congrats. You have made it into the top 5. So we are there. We now have my top 5. In this order, actually. Pyramithra is still number 1 on my list. I'm going to give Joker a legitimate shot. I'm going to try to learn Joker. I think this is the hardest one for me. Out of this list, Joker is going to be the one that I struggle with the most to learn. But might be the best choice. Actually, I'm going to flip it. I think, well, no, I'm actually going to keep Pyramithra. That shit's broken. So, boom. Diddy Kong. I honestly need to figure out what I'm going to do, but I'm actually going to switch that order. Samus, I think will do better for what I want. Diddy, and then Hero. Okay. So the sadly no category is done. So we got rid of them. Finally, there is one final list I want to do. One final list. Okay? And so here it is. The final list that I want to do is I want to take all the characters remaining from the 2 tiers above. Ow, cat, please do not scratch me. All of the characters above, and I want to put them in order of progress. And by that, I want to put the secondary progress list. So this list that I'm going to make in a second here is going to be all the characters that I have left in an order of what I want to practice them in. Okay? And try to see what works. So we're going to put all of them in really quick to another sheet. Boom. Who's need Joker? Need Samus. Need Diddy Kong. Need a hero. Need Pirate Mithra. Luigi. Luigi is the most interesting one in this list, honestly. Banjo is interesting, but not. It's less interesting if you know how my Banjo's been recently. Banjo's like my hype character right now. So, Palu. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are all of them. Okay. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So we are swapping over. So I close that list. You guys see this list? This is it. Now we order them from most likely to least. So, Banjo, I am so sorry, but you are going to be at the end here, most likely. Actually, I don't even need to have this secondary thing. I can just start. Banjo, you are most likely at the end. So, Joker, get up here. Diddy, I think, is this. I think Palu. Whoa, wait, I forgot Mario. That's who I was forgetting. I was like, I'm off by one, and I know I'm off by one, but I don't know who. Okay. Low-key. So the order that I have for secondaries that I think I'm going to have, I want to focus on Pyramithra. Then I want to focus on Joker. Then I might focus on Diddy, into Samus, into Palu, into Mario, or Hero, then to Mario. I think this is it. This is the list that I am going to start working with. I am going to focus on these characters for the next couple months. Man, this is going to be hard. So these are going to be my top 5. So currently, these are my top 5 secondary choices. Right now, and these are potentials. That's what these 2 lists mean. And I am going to add a third that are just true pockets. that they will never be anything more than a pocket. But here they are. Dude, this is so nuts. I don't know if I like this list or not. But I need to stick with whatever I choose today. That's one of the things that, like, when you're actually, wanting to focus on a secondary, I've spent the last hour literally going through and making a tier list for, like, against my character, right? Like, let me show you guys the first thing that was captured. Like, here's the first one. Literally went through, and I spent all the time on making sure that I got all of this, right? Like, I made sure I did all the losing in my minds. I did evens, but still go ZSS. I eventually even had evens switching off of ZSS, but I just dragged them to losing eventually. But, like, this is that. Okay, I'm going to put that back up there now. I think I'm going to share this list. I don't think there's anybody in here who's going to disagree with my loses other than Ken. Let's just get rid of this stupid list. The duplicates list. All right. What do you think? I think I'm going to post this list. let's cause some Twitter drama. How's that? So, cause some Twitter drama. We'll put back to full screen for here for now. While I do that, look at the little Olimar here, by the way. So I'm gonna go post that right now. This is it. This is it. This is my personal feel of matchups for ZSS. Some of these I know ZSS should lose / win, but it's solely my preference. Okay. So we just did that. Right? And then we'll make a second post showcasing my potential secondaries. And you know what? Bowser's gone, actually. I'm going to take Bowser out. There is no point to play Bowser. There is literally no point to put Bowser on that list. I am at that point where I think Bowser is a bad choice. Also, Jesus, my face. Ah! It's so red. Weird. Oh, I turn on this light. It's so red. Make it more red. All right. And now, after narrowing my list down forever, I'm stuck on this. Stuck here. I'm stuck here. Oh, Shattuck. Still some very tough I mean, it's hard to to truly keep like, to be legitimately honest, to do this sort of thing where you sit and go through every character and try to like narrow it down and think of it from a competitive standpoint, right? Like Banjo's on my list. I love Banjo. I love Banjo. But I just I know he's not relevant. So, yeah, that's just where it's at. So, here's what I'm going to do now though. So, my plan was to stream me making this chart, and I guess I talked about Lumi Rank. And that was about 2-ish hours. Do I want to stream a real game? Or am I good just chilling for now? It's kind of what I'm debating, is if I really want to do it or not. I think I'm actually going to call it here for the stream. Um, I think I'm just gonna. I don't know. I honestly kind of want to sit with this thinking. I might just go into Smash Lab and just practice each character for a little bit, but or just start watching videos, because the way that I make progress with like learning a character is I do three things. One, I pick a player that I know does well with them. Two, I watch their VODs to pick up a few specific things that I want to see, like their decision making, what they do. And then three, I try to find a combo guide of some sort and try to learn those combos. It's not smooth at all, but that's usually what I do. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm gonna call it here just cause I am tired. Had a lot of talking for the last like hour and a half, 2 hours. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. Um I appreciate everybody who came in and just chilled, who talked with me through some of it, who was here during my rant about Colorado Smash. It was really funny. Um getting me energized through that yelling fest. But thank you. And I am going to just head out. Not gonna send a raid to anybody, but if you really want to, I'm trying to see which thing I would do. I mean, you know, there's a lot of streams. You could find something. I'm sure. I'm sure you could find something. Go watch Gage Cage. There you go. All right. But otherwise, have a good one, everybody. I am heading out. Sorry, Whimsy, that you just kind of came in at the last second and it's before I left, but sometimes that's what happens. I might be back later tonight. I might try to get a Lethal Company group, and try to play Lethal Company with them streaming it. So, yeah. All right. Peace.